What is going on, everyone? Let's take a look at AMC today. Currently, we are still up $30 right now. Pre-market, I think we were around like 26 over the weekend, give or take. And all of a sudden, boom, market opens, jumps to 29. Now we're at $30. And look at this chart right now. And I'll hop over to some updates because there was actually some new updates regarding AMC, not just related to short squeeze and all that stuff, that you definitely want to stay tuned to hear that. And also remember, guys, this video is my own opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure you research before making any investments. But look at this. We reached a high of literally 36 plus dollars just a few days ago. Now we're back to 30. And on the day chart, obviously it doesn't look too pretty, but if we go to the 1 hour charts, we can see we got some sideways consolidation for a bit. Boom, spiking back up. And we're currently trending upwards above the 50 MA. RSI is closer towards, I'd say, the, over, I'd say, bot territory, but in reality, it's not too big of a deal. And volume. So we do see some people taking some profits, right? Now, depending on how much research you've done and depending on what articles, Reddit posts, or really whatever resource you found, that's essentially people are stating it's either we are in the short squeeze or we haven't even started. So do let me know your thoughts. Do you think the short squeeze has actually started yet? Or do you think that this is just sheer FOMO? People are getting in because they see AMC broke the highs of $20 price points, and now more people are trying to get into this because they don't want to miss essentially the boat. Because right now, at least, if we were to compare this, for instance, let's go to the 1 day and look at this chart right here, right? So obviously, little spike up 20, goes back, and then we break the all-time high, and we're at 30, right? And currently, if you compare this to GameStop, let's go to GameStop right here, back around this era. So it depends on what part of the chart we're at, right? Are we at this point here and we sold, or are we at this point, or are we still over here? It's really hard to predict in reality. We don't know yet. Technically, based off just looking at the pricing, if we're currently in this phase, it GameStop at $30 here. That's essentially AMC's price right now. So this is me just guessing right now. I don't know exactly what phase. We could be up already past this, and we could be over this area, or who knows, guys, right? But if, let's just say, if we are still in this phase, and AMC were to replicate GameStop and actually hit the numbers that GameStop did, then guess what? That's huge, right? So we're just looking at the charts basically, right? Now the thing is, though, you have to consider is when this went up, AMC spiked to like $20. So that's something you do have to consider. And then obviously when it sold off, so did AMC, and then it went back up. So again, it depends if we were to replicate GameStop's charts, and if we are currently at this position, then guess what? AMC is going to go crazy. But if we're already past that, and now it's kind of like a fake out, then we have to wait and see. But I think the only thing, too, we have to consider is technically, like back here, again, this is when GameStop went crazy, then now AMC only hit like 20, right? So when GameStop sold off, AMC also sold off, and really nothing happened, right? GameStop had a few runs, but in reality, this is AMC's first major run-up. And there's really not much, I'd say, besides the fact that it broke its high. So let's just say if AMC hasn't even squeezed yet, then guess what? There's so much potential for this. Now, this is, again, assuming all the research that we've found is accurate, and that the shorts pretty much, hedge funds have to end up getting back in. At this point, it depends on people who are holding AMC and whether or not they are deciding to sell, or if they are pretty much taking profits, and or they're going to hold and pretty much run this up to, however long they decide to hold. Because, again, first off, we got to break 40. If we hit 40, okay, that's going to be a lot more people going to FOMO in. Next thing you know it, even numbers 50. And then obviously we have the rest numbers up until 100. So until then, I'm going to make updates daily, pretty much as long as AMC maintains its position, to see what's going on. And just looking at the volume today, I mean, this is something you got to look at. And AMC's volume has maintained it in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Back on the few days ago before the market closed, I saw it was like at 600 plus mil. And this is just with, I'm on Webull right now, but just look at that volume being traded. So liquidity, that's decent amounts. GameStop though had way more volume back when it was at its high. So if we start to see AMC somehow get into the billions of volume, then this current price point is going to be very, I'd say, small compared to what it could potentially reach, assuming that the volume were to get to those levels, right? Because at 200 mil, we've already seen a significant increase. And for people who got in at these price points, I mean, you basically anything up $15, you pretty much already 2x. And then if you got at 5, I mean, you're making ridiculous gains. Like at this little drop right here. So I mean, it just depends on people's entry points. But again, even if they were getting at this point and it still maintains its growth, then you could technically make some gains. But again, we have to wait and see on a day-by-day basis, because with squeezes, these are some things that I'd say it's not something that's very common, and especially for things like this, right? If AMC has the same setup as GameStop, I mean, the sky's the limit. Market cap, though, super high. But at this point, we're not looking at market caps for this type of crypto. I mean, but for these type of stocks, we don't care about market cap too much because of the whole point around the squeeze and the shorts and all that, right? So that's just, again, looking at the current stock, I mean, we're up significantly. Well over, I'd say, the actual like technicals and fundamentals around the company and their like revenues. So at this point, we'll just have to see the Reddit community, what they have in store. But here is some updates that you definitely want to see. So here I go, I'll tell you guys, this is what you want to check out. Meme stock AMC jumps 19%. And check this out. Because they start to sell their shares. And look at this, right? So this again, Tuesday, they said that they raised 230.5 million through a stock sale to Mudrick Capital Management. So they said that it would use the funds for potential acquisitions, upgrading its theaters, and deleveraging its balance sheet. So check that out. Now AMC has some cash, which is a lot of cash, which is very good because they just sold a huge amount, more than the actual volume. If you see, it's like, I think the volume was what, like 220, at least on Webull. So that's actually interesting to see there, some fun facts. And you can check this out. They're raising hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is definitely a positive thing from a actual shareholder, a person who's invested in AMC, because they, one, the restrictions and quarantines in the states are starting to pretty much get removed, and a lot of cities are starting to go back to 100% capacity, masks are going away, all that stuff. Which means that, guess what? People are going to go to the movie theaters. And they are going to increase in sales. Boom, they're going to go back to business. Now, again, that's like a long-term thing. It's not too big of like a short-term stuff, squeeze-related stuff. It's not too, I'd say, affecting the price right now. But still, it's still interesting to see that they were able to get some cash. And then next thing you know, they can see that they had around $5 billion debt. And they needed for $450 million lease repayments because its revenue dried up during the pandemic. But either way, this is something that's interesting to see because the market cap, it's even up higher than it was before this article. And now we're at like 13, so we're not up, was that, like another 2 bill, give or take, depending on when you saw this. So right now, AMC is running up. And again, let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think the short squeeze hasn't started yet? Is this the beginning? Or did AMC run out of gas and that's pretty much what we are going to end up with? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, price predictions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.